Verreal has just dropped a brand new shortboard, the Verreal ACE. Priced at $599, this is a little bit pricier than your typical entry-level electric shortboard. So naturally, we're asking, what makes this modest-looking Verreal ACE worth $200 more than your average beginner's electric skateboard? To answer this, let's run through the specs real quick. The deck measures 29 inches or 75 centimeters, likely a mix of maple and fiberglass. The trucks look like generic reverse kingpin trucks. We've got 90mm wheels, and under the hood, you'll find a 12S Hobbywing ESC paired with an OLED remote. And for motor, Verreal uses two 1500-watt Hobbywing 5255 motors. Verreal claims that it would get you a top speed of about 30 miles per hour or 50 kilometers per hour. The battery is a 12S 2P 8 amp hour 345.6 watt hour pack using Samsung's 40T 21700 cells. Nice. Verreal claims that you can get more than 15.5 miles or 25 kilometers. The board's weight comes in at 17.6 pounds or 8 kilograms. While the board doesn't have an IP rating, it does claim some water resistance thanks to a silicone gasket sealing off the enclosure and deck and a silicone O-ring pad for the charge port and power button. That said, I would still avoid wet roads whenever possible, not only for the sake of the electronics, but also because they're slippery for skateboard PU wheels. After looking through the specs, it's pretty clear where the cash is going: those massive motors and the Samsung 40T battery. Very much Verreal's style, the ACE doesn't seem to sweat the aesthetics, but make sure you've got a ton of battery and power for your buck. But this begs the second question. With all this power packed into a 29-inch deck, is it really necessary? What's it like to ride a shortboard this powerful? First off, let's talk about speed control. It's no surprise that the controls are smooth and intuitive. They're using the well-known 12S Hobbywing ESC after all. But speaking for ourselves, even the smoothest acceleration can be challenging to handle on a shortboard. We often get into an unintentional wheelie when we pull the throttle, even at just the second speed mode. We are not sure which was to blame. Either the acceleration is just too powerful, or the board's weight balance isn't quite right. We have to brace for the acceleration every time we pull the throttle. Needless to say, for inexperienced riders, this board can be intimidating. But for seasoned skaters who love power and are comfortable with shortboards, they might like it for the thrills. The board handles well otherwise, with a useful kicktail and generic but alright trucks. The trucks were stable enough for us to push the board up to a speed of around 20 miles per hour or 30 kilometers per hour, but they began to feel sketchy if we tried to go faster. We don't know if the board can hit 30 miles per hour or 50 kilometers per hour as advertised, but we are not going to try to find out. But we know for a fact that Verreal wasn't exaggerating on the range. Our 220-pound or 100-kilogram test rider did achieve the promised 15 miles or 24 kilometers in a single charge. The deck's 11.8 inches or 30 centimeters wide, which is spacious enough even for e-skate newbies. The deck, being stiff, may not be the smoothest ride on rough roads, but with the ACE being a belt-driven shortboard, it still performs significantly better than hub-driven shortboards in this regard. If you're looking to improve the ride over rough terrain even further, consider installing cloud wheels. You won't have to worry about losing torque with these bigger wheels either because, as we said, the Verreal ACE has the power to spare. When putting the Verreal ACE side by side with some of its competitors, it shines in stability, easy-to-use kicktail, and, of course, sheer power. To give you an idea, the $599 Tiny Mini 2 is more stable at speed but has a kicktail that is more difficult to engage. On the other hand, the $689 X-Way Wave is more maneuverable, easier to kick turn, and really fun to carve, but it just doesn't offer the same level of stability. Verreal ACE also has 2 times larger battery than the pricier X-Way Wave. So, what's the verdict? The Verreal ACE is a mini powerhouse boasting incredible torque and power. If you're a beginner simply looking for a fun, casual electric shortboard to cruise around on, this board is an overkill. And the Verreal ACE is less about relaxation and more about raw, unbridled power. However, if you're a seasoned skateboarder thirsting for a shortboard with ridiculous strength, or a heavier rider needing every ounce of power for those uphill climbs, the Verreal ACE is made for you. As always, if you are looking to buy a Verreal, or actually any e-skate, be sure to use our affiliated discount code with the link below. It will help you get a small monetary discount and help us out too. You'll also be tagged as an Electric Skateboard HQ customer and probably be treated better. Ride safe, guys.